Hey everybody, welcome back to Laps Comic Fan. I'm Steve, and today we're talking Silver Surfer Rebirth number 3. So I want to take this time to welcome all of our new subscribers. I really appreciate you for checking us out and subscribing. Hopefully the stuff I do is to your liking. And also, I'd like to thank all the guys who signed up for the Batman contest. I'm going to get into that here in a little bit, but I really appreciate that. Last day for submissions will be April 22nd, and the drawing will be April 23rd. So if you can get as many people as your friends or whatever, whoever you know that likes Batman, try to get them into the contest. That would be great. I'm trying to grow the channel as best as I can. And I want to do it all grassroots. I don't want to hire a company, nothing like that. I want to do it on the merit of making videos and having fun with a cool group of people. That's what this channel's about. So anybody new to the channel, the way that I do my giveaways is I set a drawing date, and then I take all the names of the people that have entered, I put them in a randomizer, and then on a live stream, I go and I do the randomizer and I do it right on camera, so it's fair, and I figure that's the easiest way and most fair way to do things. Also, don't worry if you don't win. This, I know a lot of people, I want to win this contest, but I'm going to be having tons of different contests. I got tons of cool stuff to give away, so especially this summer, there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff to be given away on Laps Comic Fan. And just to clear it up, the prizes that I have to give away, it's actually one big prize. The winner will get all of this stuff. So I'm going to show you what you get. You will get this awesome Dark Knight Returns box set. Includes the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns graphic novel and pretty cool mask. It's, nothing special, but it's sweet. The box art is really cool on it. Everything, and plus you can hang out with old Batman just like I do with the mask. You will also receive this hardbound edition of Batman's 100 Greatest Moments. This thing is awesome for any level of Batman fan, and it's really cool because it tells you like the history of Batman, but it also tells you like what book the stuff happened in, what year, the artist, everything, and they give facts all about it. It's really, really neat book to have. You will also get the Historic Detective Comics 1000. This has a bunch of different Batman artists and a bunch of different Batman writers. And look, man, this is where it started for Batman. Detective Comics number 27, 1939. You can also see that on BatBits. And you also get Batman and Robin Volume 1, Born to Kill for the New 52. I wanted to put this in there because I wanted some stuff with Robin, and I was doing a big New 52 kick because if anybody's new to the channel, so what had happened, reason why I made this channel was I used to read comics a lot when I was a little kid, and then I got out of it for like 17, 18 years, and when I started to get back into it, it was such a confusing, like from when I read to compared to the way it is now, it was just so nuts and crazy, and so much stuff was being put out. I thought it would be fun to chronicle a confused human being trying to get back into continuity and that type of stuff. But the New 52 was something I never read, and I went on this kick of getting a bunch of New 52 stuff, and I got the Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo run, Court of Owls. I got that whole run, Endgame, all that stuff. And this was one by Peter J. Tomasi that I read, and I was like, wow, this one's not bad, because there was a lot of not so good stuff in the New 52. But that was one of them that was actually pretty cool. So I just put some random stuff in there too. Okay, so let's get into Silver Surfer Rebirth number 3. So last when we left off, Silver Surfer and Thanos had been separated, and Thanos ended up in a reality where he was confronted by Nebula, and Silver Surfer ended up in a terrible reality where he was confronted with Galactus. And they are trying to find out who stole the reality gem from Thanos. Now, we the reader found out that Jackofhearts is working for somebody, and he is the one that stole the reality gem from Thanos, but we don't know who's behind it. We don't know who Jackofhearts is talking to. So, let's get into this.
We start off in a scene from Norrin Radd's past, where he made the agreement to save his world by becoming Galactus' herald, and how he got turned into the Silver Surfer by the power cosmic. Surfer would seek out planets for Galactus so he could crack them open and take their energy to sustain his never-ending hunger. Did this until he came to Earth and rebelled against Galactus, defeating him with the help from his new friends, the Fantastic Four. This left Surfer both marooned on Earth and able to explore the furthest reaches of the cosmos. Now reality has become the plaything of an unknown enemy, and he has once again found himself as Galactus' herald, and his hunger knows no bounds. Galactus tells Surfer that this planet isn't enough and he needs to find another one nearby for him to feed on. But having all the memories and the guilt, Surfer denies Galactus, saying he will never serve him in this or any other reality. This pisses Galactus off, and he reminds him of his vow that he made so the World Eater would not destroy his home world of Zenlok. Galactus' hunger is too big for this small morsel of a planet, and he needs more. Surfer is distraught, and all the things he's suffered and amends he has tried to make are as if they never existed. He is lost.
So yeah, they get into Nornrad's little bit of his past just to hit you with the Galactus stuff. He made that pact with Galactus, that deal that would spare his homeworld Zenla, and he would become his herald. Now, he ended up getting turned into the Silver Surfer with the power cosmic, and he was hunting planets down for Galactus to devour until he came to Earth. And he kind of made friends, and the Fantastic Four helped him defeat Galactus, and he was free from him. And ever since then, he's been trying to make amends for all the things that he feels that he has done by going into planets and being like, all right, people, you got to get out of here because that big giant thing is going to eat your planet. It's crazy for him to be back in front of Galactus. And he was at Earth, and then he ended up traversing the cosmos and stuff like that, and it's just for Silver Surfer, this has to be really hard, because the thing that he regrets the most is where he's put back into. And Galactus is like, hey, there's a planet, we need to go there now. And Silver Surfer, with the knowledge of what he's been through and what he has, he's like, I'm not doing this, you're crazy. And it just brings up all the stuff that he suffered through, man, and he just feels lost right now.
Cut to Nebula, and she's asking if Thanos is pleased to see her, and he demands to know where they are. She brushes his demand off, as it is of no importance to her. But what she is doing is amassing her army so the universe will fall beneath her might, and she wants to know how and why Thanos has appeared before her. He ignores her and says this isn't his reality, and once he fixes his chair, he will be gone. But Nebula will not be ignored. Thanos is not the time for this, and Nebula asks him to join her in her conquest of the universe. Thanos tells her this is not his purpose and to leave him. But this irritates Nebula, and she tells her army to kill Thanos. The army rushes in, but this is just an annoyance to the Mad Titan, and he destroys Nebula's army without breaking a sweat and turns to his daughter. Are we done with this?
So yeah, Thanos is in a very different situation. He's in front of Nebula, and he's just like, crap. I gotta fix my chair and be on my way. And she's like, I will not be ignored. And she says, why don't you join me, Father? And he's like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing here. And, whatever, I'm out of here. And she's like, nope. And sicks the army on him. Oh, is that how it's gonna be? All right. And just wipes out this army. Then he turns to her and he's like, hey, are we done with this? Is that what you done here? You done? And it's very different, the situations that they're put in. And Thanos is really focused on just getting the reality gem back. Even what's put in front of him being Nebula, but still, he's still very focused on it. And he's just like, I'm going to fix my chair and get the hell out of here. And it's very different from what Silver Surfer is experiencing, because he's almost emotionally crippled by seeing Galactus, where Thanos is just annoyed and then destroys her army, and he doesn't have time for this. And Nebula pleads with him like, all I've ever wanted is to be acknowledged by you, and I wanted you to accept me. And if I can't have your love, then I'm going to take your life.
Thanos grabs Nebula by the neck and says this relationship is unhealthy and that she disappoints him. He squeezes and watches the life drain from her body until she's dead and tosses her to the ground like garbage, and goes back to trying to fix his chair. Mistress Death appears and Thanos' whole demeanor changes. She is his weakness, just as Galactus' Surfer's. He offers a dead Nebula to her as a tribute and asks if there's anything that he can do for her. Anything she wants, he would do. Please, just tell me. The panel turns black, and Thanos is enveloped in Mistress Death.
Dude, that was crazy, man. He just picks her up, squeezed the life out of her. He's like, nah, and goes around fixing his chair. Then Mistress Death appears, and you're like, and his whole demeanor changes. He goes from super focused, hyper, focused Thanos, got to get this done, kill Nebula, go back and fix my chair to, oh, Mistress Death, look at this sacrifice I have made for you, this present. It's like, it's your daughter, dude. He just doesn't give a crap, and it's so messed up.
Thanos of Titan. Dick.
And he's on his knees begging her, telling her, I'll do anything, you tell me what to do. And I want to know how she plays into this. Because is she one of those universal beings that there's only one of, even though there's multiple realities? And I don't know. I haven't been up to my, cosmic lore in Marvel for quite some time, so I don't know. And, in the panels, it kind of looked like she's enveloping him, but I don't know if that's just for the effect of, like, how Thanos was on his knees begging her, oh, do whatever you want. It's very, very different, the parallels they're showing. But it is similar that one of the few things that can get to Thanos, like how Galactus can get to Surfer, is Mistress Death. That's his weak point, just like Galactus is Silver Surfer's weak point.
Galactus points out a planet and tells Surfer to prepare the population. But this is our Surfer, the one who has broken free of being Galactus' herald, and he thinks on all the time he spent doing his bidding, all of the death and destruction, and it is too much for him to bear. And he defies Galactus, saying no, starts to attack him. Galactus says, you dare defy me, I am absolute, and releases a ridiculous amount of energy in retaliation. Surfer is launched to the planet's surface and warns the inhabitants of the danger they are in, but swears to protect them, and he goes in for another attack, screaming that he won't let another planet be sacrificed for Galactus' hunger. He says, you made me how I am and gave me the power cosmic, and you will come to regret it. Both Galactus and Surfer are using tremendous amounts of energy, colliding towards each other when reality starts to crack. Surfer is in a new place. Where did Galactus go? And where is he now? Surfer looks around and is at a loss for words, completely stunned by what this new reality has set before him, because hovering in front of him are 4 more Silver Surfers.
So we finally see that Silver Surfer, this is our Silver Surfer, the one that's experienced all this stuff and has gotten away from Galactus. And Galactus is like, hey, there's a planet over there, get the population ready. And he is just not having it. And I thought that was great because he stands up to Galactus. Galactus is just, you dare defy me. I love whenever, like I've said before, whenever they write these villains that are like really big and epic in scale of how big of a threat they are, when they're written really well, kind of like Magneto or Doctor Doom. You dare defy me? Ooh, that's cool. And they both go at it. Silver Surfer brings it to him. He goes at him, but Galactus just releases this giant amount of energy and just hits him right towards the planet. And whenever he lands, he's like, hey, everybody, you don't know me, but this thing is going to come down and kill you. But don't worry. I will save you. I will protect you. And after he tells these people this, he shoots right back up towards Galactus, goes into space, and he's screaming at him. And he's like, you made me like this. You gave me the power cosmic, but you will live to regret it. And they're just both using massive amounts of energy. It's amazing. And then all of a sudden, they're about to get to, and it starts cracking. And then Silver Surfer, he's in this place. It's in the middle of space, and you kind of see through this like portal or something. I don't know exactly what it was, but there's like 4 shadows. And he was like, where am I? And then his jaw dropped. How can this be? And out of there comes a bunch of Silver Surfers. Holy shit. This is amazing. They're different colored, like through the years, how he was drawn. There's like the old Silver Surfer. It looks like he was drawn on old comic book paper. I was just like, yes, yes, this is awesome. And we're halfway through it. There's only 6 issues of this, but man, I was like, oh, this is so cool. I was extremely happy. Plus, with Thanos getting with Mistress Death, that ties into his story and his lore. So I was like, this is cool. This is really neat.
Jackofhearts is talking to his master and asks if he needs him to take out Thanos and the Surfer. His master says no, they are lost in a myriad of realities released by the reality gem. and there's very little possibility of them getting back to their own reality. That leaves him unopposed and leaves the universe to be remade in his image. And finally, Tyrant will be left to reign supreme.
So we cut the Jack of Hearts, and he's talking to his master, and he asks his master, hey, do you want me to go after Silver Surfer and Thanos? And the master's pretty much like, no. They're lost in a myriad of realities released by the gem. So that's like, oh, that's interesting. That's cool. Did he just send them to all these different places before they could even remotely get back? There's like all these different ones as opposed to, all right, I'm sending you here. And then it cracked and they got back because he didn't really know how to use it. So my mind forgot about that even though he had sent them places, he really didn't know what he was doing. But the more time he's had the reality gem, the master, he could know a little bit more now and pretty much screw them over because he says they have a scant chance of getting back. And that also leaves him unopposed and leaves this universe unprotected because they reveal the master to be Tyrant. Okay, so if used correctly, Tyrant is a dude. He is massive. Now, he was a super AI built by Galactus before he used heralds. And I got some of his, I got a little bit of his backstory from the Marvel 616 wiki, so I'll read that now. It says, in the distant past, the Devourer of Worlds Galactus created an immensely powerful living machine, Tyrant. However, unlike his creator, Tyrant developed a lust for tyranny and conquest that directly conflicted with Galactus' desire to do only what is necessary to survive. So Galactus only wanted to take planets and use them to survive. Now, granted, it sometimes would, destroy a whole population if they couldn't get out there, but he only did it to survive, to sustain him. So Tyrant was doing this stuff because he wanted power and he sought tyranny. So he's already crazy. Eventually, Galactus learned of Tyrant's betrayal and engaged with him a titanic battle that unleashed energies which, according to Thanos, destroyed whole galaxies. In the end, Galactus barely defeated Tyrant, stripped him of the bulk of his power, thereby reducing him to his current stature and power levels, and banished him to the farthest corners of the universe. The spinsters mistakenly believed they were responsible for driving Tyrant away, when in fact it was his defeat and depowerment at the hands of Galactus that had done so. So that's incredible, because if Galactus had a hard time beating him, now he's depowered from that part. I don't know what they've used with him since then, because that's kind of what I remember Tyrant a little bit from, because I had to look some stuff up and I was like, oh, okay, I remember this. And then the more and more I read it, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is a big thing. Basically, Tyrant is an enemy of all the cosmic level beings and gods. So this is a big threat. This is huge. And I'm hoping that this is done really well. This hasn't disappointed me so far. And with the Silver Surfers meeting up, that was so cool, man. I was so pumped for that. I was like, oh, yes. I couldn't wait. Like, I have to wait a whole another month for this to come out. Oh, damn it. Here's Tyrant's powers and abilities. Let's see. Tyrant possessed enormous cosmic power. He could absorb and channel a tremendous amount of cosmic energy for destructive purposes, including optic beams that have knocked out Silver Surfer, hurt Gladiator. Jesus. He possessed vast, indeterminable levels of superhuman strength and was incredibly resistant to physical injuries, being of biomechanical properties. Tyrant was effectively immortal. Tyrant also had the ability to psionically control any technology that he came into contact with. In his original form, Tyrant was as large as Galactus and nearly as powerful, if not as powerful. His fight with Galactus had easily destroyed countless galaxies throughout the universe. After Tyrant's eventual defeat and depowerment at the hands of Galactus eons ago, he was reduced to his lesser modern state. When Tyrant was last seen, he drew on the energy of planetary biospheres and proved capable of feeding on the energy blasts of Galactus. So that's cool that they said that since Tyrant was last seen, because just saying he was depowered and stuff, it doesn't really give you a grasp of what he's capable of. But if he can absorb Galactus's beams, he's powerful enough. And you give this dude a reality gem, that's pretty badass. That's pretty cool. So what did you guys think, man? I loved it. I've really been liking this. This series has been one of my favorites so far this year. It's up there with Dark Knights of Steel, which I'll eventually get to and review and do a proper review. The next time on Laps Comic Fan, I will be doing Batman Superman World's Finest #1, which was really cool. I think you guys will enjoy that. We have a live stream coming up on Saturday, so if you're new, come check us out, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be going live on YouTube. It'll be me and John. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Not this Saturday. Sorry. I will probably be going live myself Saturday. John probably won't be here. We're going to a hockey game with a friend that's coming in from out of town. So depending on, I'll let you guys know on Twitter, and I'll put out a message. If you haven't and you're subscribed to the channel, we have a Facebook group. If you just search in groups Pop Culture Project, you can join. If you have any pages that you like to advertise or say, hey, this is what I do, we totally allow that. We're not dicks like most other pages that don't allow you to get your work and stuff out there. We want that type of collective. We want to have a bunch of cool people doing cool things. And I've also had this really cool idea. I wanted to do a show either on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday when people are off of work that got a bunch of Marvel and DC fans together. And I would like to have certain people on every week, like live, and get other creators and do something like a weekly or bi-weekly show where we have a bunch of people from different Marvel groups or even from the Pop Culture Project group, where you can come on the show and talk to us about what you guys want to hear about or what you guys like to see. But the more you comment and the more we interact, the better the show will be, guys. And I hope to see you guys on a live stream. I'll let you know exactly when I will be on. And yeah, man, I hope you guys have a great week. Peace. It's like it's your daughter, dude.